There are moments in life when the universe holds its breath, pauses in time where the air grows dense with meaning, and even the silence carries messages. This month, dear Taurus, you find yourself standing in one of those sacred thresholds. You may not have noticed it at first. It might have begun as a heaviness in your chest, a strange restlessness that crept into your sleep, a name whispered in the corridors of your memory. But now it's clear. Something ancient is stirring. Something beyond the veil is reaching out for you. This is not just a month. This is a spiritual initiation. The ancestors are calling, not metaphorically, not symbolically, but truly. The souls who once walked this earth before you, whose choices, loves, and sorrows echo through your blood, have spoken your name into the ether, not in sorrow, but in reverence. Their voices, long silent, are rising now like wind through the trees, like chants across firelight. You were chosen, Taurus. Chosen to break the patterns that bound them. Chosen to rise where they fell. Chosen to walk forward with their dreams on your shoulders and your own soul shining like a torch. And if this message already speaks to something deep within you, if your spirit feels seen, I invite you gently but clearly to subscribe to this space. Let your presence here be a signal to the universe that you're open to guidance. And in the comments, share with me, what part of your heart feels this truth? Every word you write becomes part of the healing. Feel it, breathe it, because from this point forward, nothing remains the same. Astrologically, this is no ordinary season. On May 12th, the flower full moon rises in your opposite sign, Scorpio, a lunar climax that digs deep into the hidden places of your psyche. This is not a gentle moon. It's intense, raw, transformative. It reveals, it uncovers. And for you, Taurus, it pulls up the roots of every unresolved emotion, every buried truth you've tried to forget. You may feel overwhelmed by memories or flooded with realizations. Do not resist. This is the first step toward liberation. Then, just days later, the sun aligns with Uranus in your own sign on May 17th. This is a cosmic lightning bolt, a divine disruption. Uranus does not ask for permission. It rips away illusions, shatters routines, and forces authenticity. If you've been living a life that no longer reflects your soul, this alignment will make it impossible to pretend. Expect surprises, expect breakthroughs, expect to feel alive in a way that scares you. On May 18th, the axis of Rahu and Ketu, shadow planets of karma and destiny, shifts into Leo and Aquarius. This movement reshapes your relationship with home, career, and ancestral purpose. You may feel the need to redefine where you belong and what you're here to build. The balance between nurturing your roots and claiming your visibility is being rewritten. And yes, it may feel unsettling, but it's precisely in that discomfort that your next evolution begins. June follows with equally potent energy. Venus, your ruling planet, enters a new phase, bringing focus to relationships and the way you value yourself. It asks, are you truly receiving the kind of love you deserve? Are your connections sacred, mutual, or are you still shrinking to be accepted? Mars stirs movement too, especially in matters of security. There could be changes in your living situation, in your income, or even a shift in who you consider family. All of it, dear Taurus, is designed not to punish you, but to push you out of the cocoon. You were not born to stay safe. You were born to embody the Earth's strength. And now, right now, is when your roots and wings must grow at the same time. The signs are everywhere. Maybe you've noticed strange dreams, synchronicities, numbers repeating. Maybe someone from your past reached out unexpectedly. Maybe you've been hearing songs that feel like messages, or feeling a presence when you're alone. These are not accidents. Your guides, both celestial and ancestral, are flooding your path with clues. And their message is simple. You are ready. Ready to stop carrying what no longer belongs to you. Ready to unchain your voice. Ready to live a life that feels like truth, not performance. But before you can receive what is yours, you must make space. That means grieving, yes. That means letting go. That means looking around your life and asking, what have I outgrown but kept out of habit? You may need to release relationships, jobs, self-identities, even dreams that were never truly yours to begin with. It may hurt, but it will also heal, because your soul already knows the cost of staying the same is too high. This month marks a reckoning, but not of punishment, of power. You are stepping into a season where your intuition sharpens, your dreams intensify, and your clarity deepens. You may experience emotional waves, but each wave brings a truth to shore. There is no hiding from yourself anymore, and that's a gift. If you felt unseen or underappreciated, that changes now. But the recognition won't come from others first. It will come from within, as you reclaim parts of yourself you thought were lost. As you speak, act, and love from your wholeness, you magnetize everything that resonates with your true frequency. Money begins to shift, not because you chase it, but because you align with your worth. Love begins to change, not because someone saves you, but because you stop abandoning yourself. Destiny begins to move, not because fate chooses you, but because you finally say yes to your path. And so I ask you, Taurus, are you ready to respond to the call? The ancestors are watching, the stars are aligning, the path is opening. All they need now is your choice. When the universe begins to awaken you, it does not do so gently. It shakes the ground beneath your feet. It pulls back the curtain. It reveals what you could not or would not see. And for you, dear Taurus, that revelation has already begun. There is someone close, too close, someone who wears the mask of friendship, of support, of loyalty, someone you have held in sacred space, trusted with your silence, your vulnerability, your deepest fears. And yet the truth rises like smoke in the wind. This person does not walk with you in light. She is smiling, she embraces you, but her heart brims with envy, resentment, and judgment. Her energy is not aligned with your expansion. It's rooted in control, in comparison, in fear. And the moment you began to rise, the moment you began to believe in your own power, she shifted. Her words grew colder, her praise more hollow, her support more conditional. This is not a misunderstanding. This is spiritual sabotage. The universe is revealing this now because your soul is preparing to fly. And that flight cannot happen with old weights strapped to your back. You must cut the cords. You must name the energy for what it is: a lesson, a test, a shadow dressed in the illusion of closeness. Look around you. Pay attention to how you feel in the presence of certain people. Does your body tense? Does your joy shrink? Does your intuition whisper, "Be careful"? Then listen, because the same ancestral forces that protect you are now placing mirrors all around you, showing you the truth. You no longer have the luxury of ignoring it. You were not created to be liked by all. You were created to shine. And your light disrupts the darkness in others. It's time to stop apologizing for being radiant. This spiritual unveiling is mirrored in the cosmos. Mercury, the planet of communication, is now direct, sweeping through Gemini, your house of values and voice. Secrets surface, conversations come full circle. Someone may reach out with words they never had the courage to speak before, but others may show their true colors. Both are blessings. Venus, your ruling planet, now enters Cancer and softens your emotional world. It urges you to reconnect with your heart's true longings, not the desires you've inherited from others, but the ones that pulse from your soul. During this transit, you may feel more nostalgic, more reflective, more attuned to the invisible threads that connect you to certain people. But not all of those threads deserve to remain. You see, not all love is love. Some love is control. Some care is obligation. Some bonds are cages disguised as safety. And this month, you will feel it all: the ache of old attachments, the sharpness of betrayal, the relief of release. Because yes, someone did speak your name recently, but not in prayer, not in light. Someone carried your image into dark places. They spoke of you with bitterness. They questioned your strength. They doubted your dreams. And in doing so, they stirred the sacred guardians that walk beside you. And those guardians have had enough. Your spirit has been watched over since birth. The presence of an elder woman, wise, protective, stern in love but boundless in compassion, walks with you now. She is not from this world. She is from before. Perhaps a grandmother, a great-grandmother, or a soul far older than that. You may feel her in dreams, in sudden waves of comfort, in the scent of something forgotten. She sees who speaks against you. She shields what must not reach you. You are protected, but you are also being empowered. The next step in your awakening is not to wait for others to change. It is to choose yourself, to declare, I will not be drained, I will not be manipulated, I will not be dimmed. And yes, this declaration may bring endings. Some doors may close with finality, some relationships may reveal themselves as illusions, but every ending is sacred. Every closed chapter is the opening of another. And as one karmic tie is severed, another, truer connection begins to unfold. Because something beautiful is approaching. In the distance, a presence lingers, someone who has thought of you in silence, who feels you across time and space. They are coming closer, slowly, timidly, with a heart still unsure of its place in yours. But their return is not a coincidence. It is timed by the divine. In this month of cosmic rearrangement, the threads of love are being rewoven. The person who once drifted away, confused, afraid, influenced by outside forces, begins to remember. They feel the loss. They compare the peace they felt with you to the confusion they now sit in, and they begin to seek you, not with pride, but with humility. You will feel their presence before they appear, perhaps in a song, in a message, in a sudden memory that floods your senses. And when they come, it will not be with grand gestures, but with questions, with longing, with the ache of unspoken words. But not everything that returns is meant to stay. This Taurus is where your new strength must speak. You are not the person you were when they left. You have walked through your own shadow, you have faced your own fire, and you have emerged as something more. Now you must decide. Does this love still fit the life you are building? The universe does not bring back people for comfort. It brings them back for clarity. So take your time. Feel everything. Listen deeply, not to their words, but to your body's response. And remember, the one who truly belongs will never ask you to shrink. They will love the whole of you, the messy, magnificent, sacred whole. But know this as well. Someone new approaches. Their presence is soft, steady, healing. This is not a person who needs fixing, nor do they want to fix you. They are whole in their own becoming, and they see you as you are, sovereign, divine, evolving. They will arrive not with fireworks, but with peace. And in their presence you will feel your nervous system relax, your soul exhale. Because this, dear Taurus, is the kind of love your spirit has always known was possible. A love that honors your truth. A love that doesn't hide in shadows. A love that holds space for your becoming. But it only arrives once you've said no to everything that doesn't. You've carried burdens that were never yours, Taurus. Financial pressure, emotional responsibility. The silent duty to keep everything stable while your own foundation cracked beneath you. You've poured yourself into work, into commitments, into others, waiting for the day when your efforts would finally be recognized, when abundance would match your devotion. That day is coming, but not in the way you expected, because first, the universe had to strip away every illusion of control. It had to show you where your worth was being measured in outcomes rather than essence. It had to unravel the old belief that you must struggle endlessly to deserve rest, to earn joy, to be safe. This unraveling is not punishment, it is purification. Look closely, dear Taurus. Your finances are not just about money. They are mirrors of your beliefs about receiving, about deserving, about allowing life to support you. And for too long, you've accepted crumbs while offering feasts. You've rationalized lack as humility, when in truth, it was fear in disguise. Fear of asking, fear of standing in your value, fear of being too much, but not anymore. As Jupiter continues its dance through Gemini, your second house of value, and Mars activates your fourth house of roots and emotional safety, your internal economy is being rewritten. This is more than a financial shift. It's a soul-level audit, a recalibration of your self-worth. You may notice old money patterns rising to the surface. Guilt when you receive, scarcity when you spend, confusion when you try to plan. These aren't signs of failure, they're signs of awakening. You're being shown the energetic programs that once ran your reality, so that you can now choose different ones. If this message is resonating with your soul, this is your sign to stay close. Subscribe now so you never miss the guidance that's meant for you, and leave a comment below. Your voice matters here, your journey matters, and someone else might find their own light through what you share. Expect opportunities, unexpected ones. A job offer, a project revival, a conversation that plants the seed of something bold. These are not random, they are responses to your internal shift. As you begin to claim your true value, the world reflects it back. But there is a condition: you must say yes. Even when it scares you, even when it's unfamiliar, even when part of you wants to shrink. Because what you're really saying yes to is not a paycheck, it's to your own expansion. A door is opening that has been locked for years. You may have knocked on it in the past, only to walk away discouraged, but now the lock clicks open, almost effortlessly. This is not because the world has changed, it's because you have. Your energy is different now, clearer, braver, aligned. You've done the inner work, Taurus, and the fruits are arriving. But let's speak honestly, this breakthrough cannot fully manifest in your current environment. The energy around you has grown stale. Certain spaces, physical or relational, have absorbed too much of your past, too much of your pain. They no longer hold the vibration of who you are becoming. This is why a shift is coming. It may look like a move, a relocation, a renovation, or simply a profound desire to declutter, to cleanse, to reimagine your space. Do not ignore it. This is not superficial, it is spiritual. Your soul is clearing the path for your next level of abundance. And for that to happen, your outer world must match your inner clarity. Ask yourself, where do I feel drained? Where do I feel inspired? Who lifts my spirit? Who dims my light? The answers will be obvious. Trust them. There's also a voice emerging from within, a calling. Not loud, but persistent, a knowing that you were meant for something more than repetition and survival. Perhaps you've always known it. Perhaps you buried it beneath obligations and timelines. But now it rises again, undeniable. This is your true work, not just a career, a purpose, a legacy. Something your soul signed up for long before you were born. Something that weaves your talents, your wounds, your story, and your fire into a single offering. You don't need to know all the steps. You just need to take the first one. Start small, follow the nudge, create, speak, serve, offer. What begins as a whisper becomes a movement. The stars support you. Uranus in your sign continues to awaken your genius. The sun in Gemini lights your voice and message. The Rahu-Ketu shift redefines your place in the world. This is not the time to wait for approval. This is the time to build. And as you do, support flows in. From allies, from spirit, from places you never imagined. Because when you align with your truth, the universe becomes your partner. But understand this, Taurus. Not everyone will celebrate your expansion. Some will pull away. Some will mock, some will question, but that's not your concern. That's their fear responding to your freedom. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to embody it. And as you do, your prosperity will no longer be a hope. It will be a state of being, a natural extension of living in integrity. So yes, your finances are changing, your work is shifting, your space is evolving. But most of all, your frequency is rising. And with it, everything else must either rise or fall away. There is a silence within you, Taurus, a silence that once masked your strength, a silence that you wore like armor, not to deceive others, but to survive the moments when speaking your truth felt like too much, when loving freely meant risking rejection, when staying soft meant exposing the most fragile parts of your soul. But that silence is cracking now. Like winter ice under the weight of the sun, your defenses begin to melt, not because you are weaker, but because your heart is ready to feel again, to speak again, to love again. You've endured more than you've ever admitted. There were nights when your chest ached without reason, when your tears came without invitation, when memories you thought buried came rushing back. You held it all, quietly, stoically, faithfully, like the earth you embody, but no more. This is the month where your voice returns, and not just your spoken voice, but the voice of your soul, the voice that says, I am still here. I have not been broken. I am worthy of joy. The cosmos has aligned for this healing. Neptune cast its mystical veil over your 11th house of soul tribes and future visions. It dissolves illusions, reveals betrayals, and invites reconnection, not just with others, but with your true self. Under this influence, old wounds resurface, but not to torment you. They rise to be healed. You may think of someone who left too soon, someone who said too little, someone whose absence still echoes in your chest like an unanswered prayer. This person carries a weight as well, a regret, a memory, a longing they can no longer suppress. They remember you not as a chapter, but as a turning point. And now, in the quiet hours, they reach for you with thoughts, with energy, with questions unspoken. Will they return? Possibly, likely, but not in the way you once hoped. Not to rescue you, not to fill the void. They return so that you may see with clarity what you once could not, that your love was never the problem, that your devotion was never too much, that your presence was always the medicine, not the wound. But clarity does not always lead to reunion. Sometimes it leads to release. You must decide, Taurus, does their presence bring peace or pain? Are they returning out of love or guilt? Can they meet you where you are now, not where you used to be? Because the version of you that waits for breadcrumbs is gone, and the new you, the sovereign you, demands a love that walks beside, not ahead or behind. As this energy unfolds, another revelation comes. There is someone else, perhaps already in your field, perhaps just approaching. A soul who doesn't need your explanation because they recognize your energy. They are not a fixer, not a savior, not a mirror of your past. They are a presence that feels like home, not because they complete you, but because they see you complete. This is not infatuation, this is remembrance, the kind of love that grows slowly, steadily, with deep roots and wide skies. A love that doesn't make promises it can't keep, a love that shows up when it says it will. A love that listens more than it speaks and honors more than it questions. You are ready for this, not because you're healed completely, but because you've chosen to heal honestly. And that's all the universe ever needed from you, to stop pretending you were fine and start believing you were worthy, even while mending. But before this new love or this redefined connection can flourish, something must be released. And it's not just a person, it's a pattern, the pattern of overgiving. The pattern of staying silent, the pattern of accepting less, the pattern of confusing pain for passion, the pattern of believing that love must hurt to be real. Break it now, with intention. Light a candle, speak their name, write the words you never said, burn the letter, cry the tears, let the ache move through you. This is your rite of passage, this is your cleansing. And know this, even the ones who wounded you were part of your becoming. They taught you what you will never again accept. Forgive not to absolve them, but to free yourself, and in that freedom your heart will become magnetic, magnetic to truth, magnetic to softness, magnetic to a love that meets you in your wholeness. You are no longer here to beg for affection, you are here to choose devotion. And when you do, the right hearts will find you. Because you are not hard to love, Taurus, you are just sacred, and sacred things require sacred handling. So let your silence turn into song. Let your past become poetry. Let your future unfold like prophecy. You've made it to the edge, Taurus, to the sacred precipice that separates who you were from who you are about to become. And from here, everything is different. The air smells of release. The winds whisper in ancient tones. The ground beneath your feet is no longer the ground that held your past. It is the soil of your future, newly tilled, ready for the seeds of a life you've only dared to imagine. Look back for just a moment, gently, not with longing, not with bitterness, but with honor, because what you've walked through, what you've survived, forgiven, endured, was never trivial. It carved the corridors of your soul. It refined your discernment. It taught you to recognize the sacred, not by how it looks, but by how it feels. And now the universe is responding. A door is opening, one that cannot be closed again. Behind it waits not just a new season, but a new self. A version of you that no longer apologizes, no longer waits, no longer accepts love half given, life half lived, truths half told. This is the initiation, and you are not walking it alone. A presence surrounds you, a feminine energy that transcends bloodlines. She is your great-grandmother's mother. She is the healer in your ancestral line. She is the whisper behind your spine, the warmth on your neck, the sigh that leaves your lips in stillness. She has watched every tear, celebrated every act of courage, shielded you when the world grew dark. And now she speaks, not in words, but in events, in signs, in moments where time bends and meaning rushes in like light. That song playing when you asked for guidance, that feather in your path, that vivid dream that stayed with you for days. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. She is telling you, you are protected, you are seen, you are ready, ready to forgive yourself for what you didn't know, for what you allowed, for what you tolerated out of loneliness or habit. There is no more guilt to carry, no more penance to serve. You've paid the price. Now it's time to collect the blessing. But she is also asking for your courage, because while destiny is unfolding, you must still choose it, consciously, repeatedly, daily. There will be moments even now where fear whispers, don't leap, don't speak, don't trust. And yet your soul knows better. You've outgrown fear, not because it vanished, but because you stopped letting it lead. You are being asked to surrender, not in defeat, but in devotion, to the path that lights you up, to the relationships that mirror your worth, to the work that awakens your fire, to the truth that sings through your bones. This surrender is not passive, it is power. The cosmos confirm it. As June progresses, Saturn's influence in Pisces grounds your dreams into reality. Pluto, still tracing Capricorn's last degrees, asks you to release ancestral burdens you were never meant to carry. And Chiron, the wounded healer, blesses your house of endings and rebirth, sealing old wounds with wisdom instead of scar tissue. It's time to create a new vow with life, a vow to never abandon yourself again, to let your softness speak louder than your defense, to live not in reaction but in resonance, to be guided not by scarcity but by sacredness. And now, Taurus, the final act, the invitation. Speak it aloud if you can, or write it, or simply feel it ripple through your chest. I release what is not mine. I forgive what no longer serves. I welcome only what nourishes my soul. I am ready to receive the life I was born to live. Let the words ring. Let them echo. Let them crack open the sky. Because from here on out, the world will feel different, not because it changed, but because you did. You've stepped out of survival. You've stepped into sovereignty. And everything you once thought you lost, peace, joy, connection, clarity, is returning, but not in its old form. in its true form, whole, holy, anchored in truth. This is not a new chapter, Taurus. This is a new book, one you write with your own hand, in your own voice, guided by stars and blood and spirit. And it begins now. You've walked with me through the sacred Taurus, and I honor that. If this reading opened something within you, I invite you to subscribe and continue this journey with us. And before you go, leave a comment below. Speak your truth. Let the universe hear you. This space was created for souls like yours.